What are the saving habits that we need to adapt as well as investments we should look into this 2024? Well, we'll ask these questions to Wealth Coach Chinkee Tan. Chinkee, thank you very much for joining us.
Hi there, Diego. Good morning, and good morning to all of your viewers.
Alam mo, Chinkee, year in and year out, ako, guilty rin ako dito. No? We always have a pledge to ourselves na spending habit ko, what should I spend on, what should I be kuripot on, and what should I invest in. But in terms of this new year, no, how should we spend this coming 2024? What should we do to, jumpstart this attitude of trying to be better year on year?
Yeah, this coming 2024 definitely will be a interesting and challenging year. Because number one, I do believe, especially what the economists are saying, is we have to really be more cautious about our food security.
Okay.
Food security in the sense, if you notice, if you go to a supermarket, Diego, you
Yes.
be quite surprised with the prices of food and basic food and commodity. And that's one of the major issues specifically for Filipinos, yung food security.
Okay.
And I hope we won't come to a time na may pera ka pero wala ka na mabilhan.
Correct.
Kasi nga, dahil nga kulang ang production ng ano. Kaya nga, I will really encourage people, specifically, number one, to maximize every resources or probably land that you have, no? Kahit sa pasuman yan or any vacant land that you should plant. You should plant, and for production for your own food, that's number one. Food business definitely will be really a great opportunity.
Okay.
This coming 2024. So that's number one thing that we need to be more careful. And then second thing that we need to do this coming 2024 in terms of we need to be more practical in terms of buying things. It doesn't mean to say that you earn money, you should spend it. The goal of having more money is not for you to spend more. The goal for having more money is for you to save more and invest more.
Okay.
Save for number one, for emergency fund. When you say emergency fund, just in case if a pandemic one happened, it means say there's a possibility for pandemic two. I'm not saying it will happen.
Yes.
But we need to be prepared. At least we need to have at least 3 to 6 months of our emergency funds or expenses. And on top of that, the next goal, once you have already secured your emergency fund, the next goal is to make your money grow, to go into business or probably to invest and grow your money.
So parang ang sinasabi mo, ito yung sa savings, no? But alam mo, Chinkee, kasi some people are confused, no? How do we save? Is it 20% of our gross salary? Or bayaran muna natin lahat ng payables, what needs to be paid, and then yung natitira, yun ang isi-save? What's a best practice or a good habit to start saving?
There, number two simple principles lang. The number one, let's entertain muna the idea of having the right mindset now when it comes to saving money. The right formula or right mindset should be income minus savings equivalent to expenses. Kumita ka, magtabi ka muna, tigo muna, bago ka gumasta o gumastos.
Okay.
Because kung inuna mo talaga yung paggastos mo, ni pisong duling walang matitira. Diba? So, pag inuna mo naman pag-iipon mo, kung ano yung matira, doon ka gumastos, meron kang talagang masusubi, meron ka talagang matitira. That's number one.
Okay.
And number two, when it comes to percentage, it all depends on the capability and capacity of a person. Like for example, if you are going to start by lifting weights, no, to exercise, mag-weights ka. What if I tell you, okay, Diego, let's start with 100 pounds. Do you think you can carry 100 pounds?
Yeah. That's right.
Diba,
that's
mabigat
right.
siya.
Yeah.
So I will ask you, ano kaya mo? Kaya ko lang siguro 10 pounds. So let's start with that. So likewise, sa pag-iipon, kung anong kaya ng tao, kung anong kakayanan ng tao, kung 5%, 10%, 10%, and as you lift, di ba, parang more weights, di ba, from 5 pounds to 10 pounds to 15 to 20, ganun din. As your income increases, you don't increase your standard of living and spending, but you increase your standard of savings and investing from 5% to 10% to 20% to 30% as your income increases.
So parang ano siya, no, Chinkee, parang progressing, no?
Yes.
Ang isang question kasi, you were talking about investment opportunities, like food business and all. But for example, yung money or kunyari, a small business, magtatayo ka, the money that you're going to use for that, does it come from the savings that naipon mo? Kunyari, nakaipon ka ng 1 year? Or will it come from the money on hand that you have?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. Yung emergency fund is untouchable. Ang
Okay.
ibig sabihin kasi ng emergency fund, it's for in case of emergency. Just like a spare tire, di ba? Hindi mo naman tinatanggal yung spare tire sa sasakyan mo kasi gagamitin mo sa ibang bagay. Just in case na ma-flat ka, meron ka na pwedeng gamitin on that moment. So, emergency fund is untouchable. You will set another savings fund for business and opportunities and investment. Iba pa
Okay.
yun, aside from the emergency fund.
Okay. So, speaking of business naman, when kunyari mag-i-invest ako, I have a certain amount of money. How much percentage na pwede ko i-risk para ilagay sa business?
That's a good question, no? Yun nga, it's a proven fact, 90% of businesses fail on their first attempt.
Okay.
So you have 90% chance of losing the money. So the way to really minimize risk is if you have 100,000 pesos, let's put it 100,000 pesos, you only invest 10% of the amount. Ano yung 10% nun? Di ba 10,000?
That's
So
correct.
you look for an opportunity na 10,000 pesos lang. Just in case you made a mistake, you still have 90,000. Another 10%, nagkamali ka pa rin, wala pa rin. Another 10%, nagkamali ka pa rin. On the fourth attempt, kumita na. You found the system already. The good news, you have still 60% to reinvest to recover the 40% that was lost.
So, interesting. So, sinasabi mo, Chinkee, no, sorry. Sinasabi mo, kunyari, 100,000 ang, kunyari, may 100,000
Pera.
ako ngayon. Pera, no? 10% nun kunin ko. So, let's say 10,000. I have 10,000. Tsaka ako maghahanap sa 10,000, what will yield me the highest
Yes.
return? Instead of,
Yes.
ito dream ko, tatayo ako ng bar, may 100,000 ako. So, it's the other way around.
Yeah, just
Okay.
like, alam mo
Interesting,
naman,
yeah.
Diego, no?
Oh.
Diba, you bought your car, diba?
Yeah.
Pag bumili ka ng brand new car, pag nagasgas ang brand new car, pag nagasgas, masakit.
Yes.
Oh, pero pag second hand car, 'di ba? Pag nagasgas, okay lang, sanay na eh.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so that's interesting, no? And of course, since pa-approach na ang medianoche natin this Sunday, no? I think. Anong last minute tips mo on how should we spend for this upcoming medianoche?
Yeah, I suggest talaga kung meron ka pang extra na pera talaga, number one, ang goal mo talaga is to pay off your debt. Kung may utang ka, tanungin mo sarili mo ano mas mahalaga sa'yo. Masarap na medianoche o peace of mind. That's number one. Number two is kung may extra kang pera, again, secure the emergency fund just like what I mentioned. Kung may extra kang pera at the start of the year, palaguin mo, inegosyo mo. Diba? Ang daming opportunity this coming 2024.
Okay.
2024, I do believe will be one of the greatest. As we know, pandemic is already, nagbabalik na tayo, back to normal na
Yes,
tayo. 2024, talagang mag-all out yan. Kaya nga, it's a make or break this coming 2024. May mga ups and may mga downs yan. Pero ako, I'm more optimistic for this coming 2024.
Oo nga, kasi it looks like it's gonna be the first full year talaga na coming from the pandemic na dire-diretso tayo, no? Sorry, Chinkee, I have to ask you one last question. It's an age-old question sa mga tulad natin. Every time na papasok na ang December, we always say to ourselves, nako, sana pala nung January pa lang nag-iipon na ako ng regalo for December. Is that the prudent thing to do, Chinkee? Or do we wait talaga last minute para dun papasok ang mga sale and by that time nakaipon na tayo ng konti?
Yeah, well, it's just like saying, di ba, minsan may lalapit sa akin na may mga empleyado ko, boss, may emergency ako. Anong emergency mo? Manganganak na misis ko eh. Sabi ko, kailan ba nabuntis ang misis mo? Kahapon? Di ba? It took him 9 months, di ba? 9 months na talagang lumalaki, di ba? Yung bata, sinapupunan ng nanay. So, 9 months. So, ibig sabihin yan, hindi ka nag-prepare nung 9 months ago. And likewise, if you say you want to splurge on this coming Christmas of 2024, you have 12 months. So, you have to start saving already on month 1 on how much that you really want to set aside on a monthly basis. So, once you reach December, you will not be financially stressed. So likewise with this principle applies not only for Christmas but also for financial education,
Okay.
yung mga plano mo sa buhay, mga financial goals mo, whether short-term, medium-term, or long-term goals.
Yan, thank you very much, Chinkee, for joining us. It was really a pleasure to talk to you and have a Happy New Year.
Yes, likewise, Diego.
Thank you, Chinkee Tan.